Hey guys, welcome to the horror house. I'm your host Trayvon McDonald, and let's get straight away into the video. Today we're going to be talking about a horror movie that I would personally be able to survive. And there are a lot of them, but I just feel like this one makes the most sense to me. Today we're talking about Fnaf. So, for those of you who don't know what Fnaf is this popular movie based on a horror game called Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is a game where you play as a security guard who works at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. You have to survive all 5 nights, surviving killer animatronics and dealing with low-power indoor issues. These animatronics can walk around, some are fast, some are sneaky, some just teleport to you. But it's a very difficult process and a very, very scary game. The game has been popular for many, many years and has many different branches out. FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, FNAF 4, FNAF 5, FNAF 6, FNAF Sister Location, FNAF, I don't even know, FNAF everything. There's so many FNAF and it's so popular. And that's just a general basis overview of it for those people who don't know what FNAF is. So, now, let's get into the movie. We start the movie off in the life of Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt works as a security officer at a mall. He eventually loses this job very quickly into the movie for beating up some child's dad who he thought was kidnapping him. Turns out it was just his dad, and he absolutely traumatized that child. So, Mike Schmidt comes back home to his little sister Abby. Him and Abby live alone, and he fends for both of them. His aunt is trying to take Abby from him as she claims he is not a suitable fit parent. But really, she just wants the extra money from the state whenever she gets the child. She doesn't really care about Abby all that much. Abby's a little weirdo. She doesn't talk much. She has many, many imaginary friends, and she just kind of draws all day. But one thing she does is she loves her brother with all of her heart. So, in order to keep Abby, Mike has to find steady groundings and find a job to appeal in front of the court. So, looking for this job, he's taken to a counselor to help him find a job. The job counselor knows that his options are very, very, very slim. And with his horrible track record, it's almost like he doesn't even want a job. But he really needs this, so he takes up anything that is available. The guy offers him a security gig at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. He has no idea what Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria is. It's an old, abandoned, fun playhouse, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese. It's old and abandoned, and he just has to watch over it for the night and make sure no one breaks in, and nothing bad happens. So, he takes the job, and whenever he gets there, he notices how trashy and freaky it is in there. It's old, it's dusty, it's dirty, things are broken, there's glass in places. It's just not an appealing sight for anyone. So, he gets to his desk, he lays back, he watches the first introduction tape, and then he falls asleep. He falls asleep not out of sleepiness, but for a reason. He is trying to find a certain dream. This dream is a recurring dream that he has almost every night, and he tries to have because he's trying to remember something from it. When he was little, he had a little brother. They were out camping with his family, and he was supposed to watch him. He didn't watch him for 1 second, and his little brother got taken. So now, every night he dreams to try to find who took his little brother. So, he falls asleep there. Freaky stuff happens in his dream. Freaky stuff that isn't normal for his dream. And then he wakes up. His first night is done. So, the next night, he goes back there. And this is night 2 at Freddy Fazbear's. Once again, he falls asleep. This time, during his dream, however, something weirder happens. One of the children slashes his arm in the dream, and then he starts screaming in the dream. All of a sudden, he's woken up by loud noises playing throughout the pizzeria, loud music and flashing lights. It blinds him, it deafens him. He has to find the power source quick. So he runs for it and turns all the power off. He's relieved that it's over now, but he looks down at his arm and notices a huge slash out of his arm in the same place where he got cut in his dream. Things are starting to get freaky. He hears a buzz, someone wanting to come in from the door. He looks at the security cameras and notices it's a police officer. He lets her in, they talk for a little bit, and then she introduces him to the animatronics. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. The whole gang is here. So, after their little night together, she finds his pills. Now, she assumes that he's just a drug addict who sleeps on the job. However, these pills are for a reason. The pills help him sleep, and the pills also help him have the same dream again. So therefore, his pills are for a reason, but she believes that they're not for a good reason. She was just dumbfounded at what he could do. However, she lets it go, and she just leaves. Now, while he's not home, like I said, how him and Abby are the only one there, he has a babysitter to watch over Abby. The babysitter is a trusted friend of theirs. However, she is not to be trusted because secretly, she is working for his aunt. Now, when she goes back to report to the aunt, she claims that there's nothing possibly wrong and they have a perfect household almost. The only fact is that, sometimes he has to go away, but other than that, they're fine. Everything's fine. And this is not what the aunt wants to hear because she wants dirt on him that she can use. So, the babysitter and her boyfriend suggest breaking in to Five Nights at Freddy's and trashing the place so he gets fired. This way, he won't have a job and the aunt will go in custody over Abby. She reluctantly agrees and pays them money for if they complete this. So, during the day, they go to Five Nights at Freddy's. They break in through the back, and they absolutely trash the place. There are multiple of them, and they go in and they just start wrecking everything they see. They're split up all throughout the pizzeria. However, what they're not expecting is that someone's there with them. One person in the kitchen hears a rattling in the refrigerator. He opens it to find a cupcake. The cupcake has its eyes closed. It opens its eyes and lunges at him. First person gone. Next, the way this works, he tries to run away because he is instantly terrified from the animatronic. However, he runs into a closet with another animatronic where he is viciously mauled. Next person, dead. Now, the other person notices his two friends are dead, and he sees an animatronic coming out of the room where his dead friend was. So, he tries to run away. He tries to run for an exit. He gets to the exit, however, the door is locked, and he is trapped, face to face with Foxy, the fastest one. Another person, gone. All the people inside are now dead. However, there's still the girl in the car. She goes in, and she doesn't know what happened. However, she just knows she can't find anyone. She finds a little child that runs away from her. She then chases the child, who is then inside a Freddy suit. The hand lures her towards it as she is pulled in and snapped in half. The next one, dead. However, even though they all died, they were managed to get some damage to Freddy Fazbear's. So the next night when he goes back, the cop comes back and sees the place trashed. She instantly accuses him of being a druggie and nothing but a no-good person. However, he claims that it wasn't his fault. They patch things up and he goes to his next night. This night, however, he brings his sister with him because the babysitter's dead. So he has to bring his sister with him. He brings his sister with him. When he falls asleep and he wakes up, she is not there. He hears her screaming. He is instantly terrified and runs after her to see her playing with the animatronic. They were screams of joy. The animatronics are hostile towards him. However, she quickly warns them off and they become friendly towards him. They play together, build a fort, things happen, and then they leave. The next night, everything goes wrong. Abby is no longer there, and the animatronics are upset. He goes to sleep and has his dream, and the ghost children that are in his dream are connected to the animatronics. So they make him a deal. They offer to let him have the same dream every night where him and his happy family can be together. They just want the girl so they can turn her into one of them. He reluctantly agrees, even though he instantly regrets his mistake. However, it's far too late. He tries to take it back, and the animatronics turn hostile towards him and try to kill him. He narrowly escapes death from the help of the police officer lady, who then patches him up. The animatronics go and receive Abby, and then they bring her back to the pizzeria. He sneaks back in and manages to knock out Freddy and Bonnie with some electricity and some water. Then he goes and finds his sister, who is being taken to the back room by Chica and has almost been put inside an animatronic suit. However, he saves her just in the nick of time. They try to escape, where they are then countered and intercepted by the animatronics. Things go south, things happen, and then they're ready to run away. However, one final animatronic stands in their way, a golden bunny suit. However, this animatronic is not like the others because this is a person, not in an animatronic suit, but in a spring-lock suit. So electricity doesn't work on him because he is padded and he is a human, he's not a robot. So a big fight happens, and it turns out the police officer is actually that guy's daughter. And another thing, it turns out that the guy in the bunny suit is the owner of Five Nights at Freddy's, who is also the job counselor who helped him find the job, who is also the person who murdered his little brother. Turns out this whole place is one giant murder scene. He's been murdering kids for years, and that's why the place got shut down, and he's not ready to let it go. Big fight happens, the guy stabs his daughter. They get out, the animatronics turn on him thanks to Abby, and they are able to walk away scotch-free. Now, this was one heck of a movie, and I really enjoyed it, but there were a lot of mistakes and dumb things made throughout the movie. So, let's talk about how I would survive it and what I would do differently. First things first, if you are being offered a job from a guy who seems sketchy, however, he's offering you his job as a very last resort, that just immediately tells you that something's wrong with it. That just tells you instantly that something's up and you probably shouldn't take it. However, I still can understand his situation, so I understand taking the job. Now, something I would do differently that helped me in this situation. I wouldn't fall asleep during the job. I wouldn't fall asleep in an old, creepy, abandoned building that's filled with animatronics. Even if I don't know they aren't alive yet, I'm still not falling asleep because I would still have my skepticisms about the animatronics. Therefore, I'm not falling asleep on the job like that. So, without falling asleep, it takes so many things out of the equation. So it takes the creepy dreams and the creepy musics and the slashes out of there. So, you would know that the animatronics are alive a lot quicker. Now, the second, and I mean the very second I found out these animatronics can move, I'm going to 5th gear. I am going super AWOL, and I am being super skeptical of everything. I'm watching them like a hawk. And the second I see them do something that's out of line or shows any sign of possession, I'm booting it out of there. I don't care what happens. I will call the police and I'll tell them something happened, but I'll just make some kind of excuse for me not to be in there. This isn't how this is going to work. It's not going to be, let's play detective and check things out. No. I'm getting out of there. I can promise you I'm getting out of there. So, that's something that I'm doing. Now, another thing, whenever he brought his sister there, he fell asleep again, woke up, sister isn't there, went out, saw the sister playing with the animatronics. Playing! That is the key word. She's not just like messing around with their already moving functions. They are moving independently, making facial expressions and playing with the child. That is absolutely ridiculous. This is exactly how we do this in this scenario. So, if I walk in, I see her playing with them, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute, guys. Can I see you for a minute? Come here. Yeah, just let me give you a hug really quick. Can I give you a hug, little sister? Come on. Picking her up, instantly running out of there. The animatronics aren't catching me. There's no way they have the doors locked that fast. So we're getting out of there. Now, on the off chance they have the doors locked and they're prepared for this, this is what I'm going to do. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I just wanted to play with you too. We're playing a game of tag. Duh. You couldn't tell? That's why I ran. You're it. And then they'd be like, oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. And then they'll play with me. Then, whenever 6 a.m. hits, I'm getting out of there as fast as possible. So, you might be thinking, these are pretty unlikely scenarios. And I'm saying, yeah, I know. Likely, they wouldn't agree with me. However, judging by the fact that they have Abby that likes them, and Abby likes me, she will not let them kill me. So, therefore, we're Gucci. We're good. Nothing's happening to me. So, now, let's just hypothetically say I did all the dumb stuff he did. I did all the dumb things throughout the movie. And I just so happened to get to the end point where I now have to rescue my sister. He came into the pizzeria knowing that he was getting ready to fight all the animatronics with an electric stick. Just grasp that for a minute. 4 big, strong metal machines that are possessed and can move with an electric metal stick. Does that sound like a smart idea? Not at all. I am making sure to have some sort of power with me. I'm bringing bats, I'm bringing in wooden blocks, I'm bringing chairs, I'm bringing tables, I'm using anything and absolutely anything that can help me overpower these creatures. He just brought a little metal stick? Okay, that's fine. I'm bringing 10 tasers. We run out of one. Gotta recharge. Nope, no time for that. That's how the robots are gonna be. I'm not playing around with them. We're going big and we're going hard. So therefore, I'd be able to survive 5 nights at Freddy's. I'm not dying to those animatronics, and especially not a pregnant animatronic. So, people make the argue that men can't get pregnant. However, I actually know a man who is pregnant, and his name is Freddy Fazbear. Because this one time, William After took this kid, and then he murdered him. Grrr. And you know what he did? He put that kid inside of Freddy Fazbear's. Put the body inside of Freddy Fazbear's. He also did this with Chica the Kitchen, Bonnie the Bonnie, Foxy the Fox, Pirate Rawr, and Yellow Freddy Fazbear. So Chica the Kitchen is a girl, I think, but Freddy Fazbear is a boy, and he's pregnant because there's a kid inside of him. But he's also possessed by the kid inside of him, so he's like possessed by his pregnancy because Freddy Fazbear, and if you go to 5 nights at 3 a.m., he eats you with his pregnant, because he's pregnant, because William Afton is purple, and he's weird, and that's why you don't go to Freddy Five Best Pizza at 3 a.m., because he's pregnant. So, what we just took from that was you were being chased by a bunch of pregnant animatronics, pregnant robots. That should just make it a whole lot less scary going into that situation. Be like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get killed by robots. Nope, you're about to get chased by pregnant robots. That would just give me like so much confidence, and it would probably just jack me up by like 10 times and like turn me into like a professional bodybuilder. And then I'd just be able to mollywop on the animatronics because they're not stronger than me now. So, therefore, I wouldn't die to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I wouldn't die to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So, what we took from all this was that I'm just him. They make stupid decisions in movies, and that Freddy Fazbear's isn't that dangerous if you go into it with the right mindset. Now, let's hear from the cupcake itself, the so-called cupcake in Freddy Fazbear's. Nice to have you, Cupcake. Please tell me something about you. Okay. Yeah, of course, of course. Oh, okay, okay. All right, well, thank you so much for that, Cupcake. Yeah, so if you guys couldn't understand, I'll kind of be the translator for you. Cupcake basically just said that I am super duper cool and I'm super duper strong, and I'd be able to beat up all the animatronics and tase them all to death. And it would become my Five Nights at Freddy's. But if you couldn't understand, that's basically what he said. Yeah, thank you so much for that input. I'm really glad to let these people know how amazing I am. So, thank you guys for watching, and yeah. So basically, all of this what we're saying is that I am Five Nights at Freddy's. Thanks for watching.